So let's start the subject. Okay, wealth management, introduction to financial planning. Yeah. So we always have some desires. Basically, we have certain aspirations. That means desires. We want to. We have desired to have certain amount of money at the time when we retire. We should have a good house. We should have a good car. All those assets which we have, and then you have children whom you like to educate, and I mean they will get married. So you need a lot of money in the journey of your life. So you have to do a financial planning. Okay. So financial planning is an approach to assess the adequacy of income. First of all, what is your income and assets of the person, whatever he has, to meet the financial requirement and for fulfillment of these needs. Fine. So it's a planning basically. So we do a planning and to understand what is the income of a person, whatever assets he is owning, and what is are his requirements and aspirations. So a role of a financial planner. Normally this course is generally designed for the students who want to become financial planners. Okay, they want to take this as a career. Okay, so what lot of my words will be using that sentence that as a planner, what you should be doing with your client. Okay, so but as a I mean, as we understand the course, it applies to even for us. How do we plan our things? So financial planners' fundamental role is to ensure that the client has adequate money to meet various financial goals. Very, I mean, simple, doesn't require. While performing the role of a, performing this role, financial planners offer some or all of the following services. So if you go to a financial planner, what all services he is going to offer? So let's understand that first. Okay.
Yeah. The first one is preparing a financial blueprint for the client's future, advice on investment in share market, advice on investment in small and other debt instruments, advice on investment in mutual funds and other investment products, suggesting a suitable asset allocation based on risk profile of the client.
So basically, the financial planner is going to advise, where he should be putting his money, whether in the share market or the mutual fund market or a debt market. Okay. And he's going to advise, where he can put his and get the maximum return. And then he's going to do an asset allocation. How your assets should be allocated in your financial as well as non-financial assets, a house or a property or into various investments. Okay. And he has to understand the risk profile of a person. Okay. We'll talk about a risk profile in great detail when it comes.
Management of loans and other liabilities.
Suppose you have taken a car loan or any loan, housing loan. So how are you going to manage that also while you, create a wealth for yourself?
Insurance planning and risk management.
So, again, one has to be insured. So the insurance planning is also part of the wealth management part. And how do we, manage the risk also? Because we are going to put money into share market or stock market, which are risky in nature. So how do we even manage that? Tax planning. Okay. Then, of course, the last is basically whatever you amassed yourself, all the wealth, you're going to transfer it to your next generation. So, how you're going to transfer that wealth? By making a will. So, you'll understand a will also. Each of you would like to make a will for yourself. Fine. I recently made it. So, I'll show you the format. A very good format. हाँ तो वो अच्छा आपके फादर ने भी बनाई है हाँ रजिस्टर भी कराते हैं ठीक है सो वही हम आपको पूरा प्रोसेस बताएंगे आई शेयर यू with you all the details how it is be done. Okay. Then there is a company in US. Just read.
Yeah. US headquartered certified financial planner board of standards, which grants the international CFP certification, has laid down the following 6 steps.
So there is basically an international company called in US, which is which has given a definition what should be done by a certified financial planner, CTP, CFP. So certified financial planner. So they give a certificate to the people who can go and advise people how to manage their wealth and how to manage their life cycle and everything in terms of generating money for your future needs. So he has given 6 steps. So first step.
The first step is establishing and defining the client's planner relationship.
So first of all, you have to meet up your client, okay, as a financial planner, and a relationship has to be developed. So you have to tell him about, what will be, if there are at all any charges. Normally, a financial planner is going to charge something for giving that advice. Either he gets it in different form or he gets directly from the client. So he has to give a full picture to the person from whom he is going to make a plan.
Next is gathering client data, including.
So he, second step is going to get all the data from you, okay, from the person he is going to, and then what are his goals, okay?
Analyzing and evaluating client's financial status.
So he evaluates with the data what is the status of the person, how much money he is earning, okay?
Developing and presenting financial planning, recommendations and or other alternatives.
So based on the data what he's got and he analyze, he is going to make a plan for the guy and share with him, okay?
Implementing the financial planning recommendations.
So then he is going to implement that, okay? Once he has made the plan and shared it with his client, then the client says, okay, now I want to execute it. So he is going to implement, okay? He is going to guide, how he is going to, put his money and, how he is going to manage his future as far as his money concern, or how he is going to deal with his money matters.
Last is monitoring the financial planning recommendations.
So he's going to monitor. So that means, on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, they're going to meet either physically or online. Like, I keep meeting my financial planner offline, online.
Led by the planner.
So this is the life cycle of a person, isn't it? पहले आप young हैं, unmarried हैं, उसके बाद you got, married, there was no children. Then you married and having young children. Then married and having older children. So that stage you have not reached. I am into that stage almost like, okay. I mean, they are marriageable, they have got married, my son and daughter both got married. Then a time when you retire, I'm almost retirement 60 plus now. So I'm retired, I'm just having my own work basically. I'm teaching now, so that may go on till, I can do it, the job, okay. There are 4 stages of your financial life cycle.
So there are 4 stages. The first is accumulation of wealth, that is at early age. Stage 2 is the growth and management of wealth, that is at middle age, mid-stage. And stage 3 is preservation of wealth, that is late stage, and the fourth stage is distribution of wealth, retirement.
So basically, first is the accumulation phase. When you accumulate money, you're earning, you're getting money, you're in a job. Second is growth and management of the wealth. अब आप ग्रो करना शुरू कर देते हो और आपका पैसा आ जाता है, उसको चाहते हो कि बढ़े. Third stage is preservation of the wealth, where you attain a certain age, around, close to retirement, okay, and you want that, it should be safe. Your money should not go down. You can't bear any loss, okay. So you want to preserve it, okay. You can't take more risk now. Stage 4 is basically at the time when you do retirement planning. Then you make a will for yourself, and then you want that your next generation should, there will be no, amicable settlement between your family when you go away from the scene. So this is the first stage, accumulation, then distribution. Then I'm just skipping it, transition phase. फिर आपको कोई windfall gain होता है, आपको inheritance अपने, अगले के आपने बताया कि will बनी है, तो कभी ना कभी तो आपके पास आएगा. जैसे, my father, we always wanted he should live long, but everybody is alive. We will also going to, go away from this, world. So, you get some money from your family as a, inheritance. Okay, so then you transfer. Then the time comes when you start thinking about how you are going to plan how you are going to transfer your wealth to your next generation. Then, the most important is the risk profiling. Okay.
Yeah, the client data analysis, including positioning on the life cycle and the wealth cycle, will suggest the client's risk profile. Let us classify their clients into groups,
such as extremely risk averse. Some people are extremely risk averse. They can't take any risk. And I told you, I think my father-in-law, who died at the age of 94, he was extremely risk averse. He used to put his money only in a bank fixed deposit, nowhere else. कुछ नहीं, कोई आदत नहीं, कोई drink नहीं, everybody has their own, thinking. Moderately risk averse. Some says कि थोड़ा बहुत risk लेना चाहिए भाई. Then the third is risk neutral. Here, so I was looking what is risk neutral. So I've just given, I read what is risk neutral describes a mindset where the investor focus on potential gains when making investment decisions. So he's देखिए मुझे फायदा क्या होगा, इसे इसके अगर मैं इन्वेस्ट कर लूं तो मुझे क्या गेन होगा, वो रिस्क को देखता ही नहीं है. ही इज रिस्क न्यूट्रल. ही जस्ट वांट्स टू अंडरस्टैंड कि जहां मैं लगाऊंगा उससे मुझे क्या गेन होने वाला है. हम भी देखते हैं टू सम एक्सटेंट, वी आर ऑल्सो समटाइम रिस्क न्यूट्रल. रिस्क न्यूट्रल भूल जाओ, पहले बताओ कि मैं अगर 100 रुपए लगाऊंगा तो मुझे मिलेगा कितना. अगर कोई कहे बड़ा रिस्की है तो हम, अगर कोई मॉडरेटली रिस्क अवर्स है वो दूर हो जाएगा कि नहीं मैं रिस्क नहीं लूंगा. बट दिस गाय इज रिस्क न्यूट्रल. ही डजंट लुक एट द रिस्क, बट ही लुक्स कि मुझे क्या मिलेगा. देन मॉडरेटली रिस्क ओरिएंटेड. Okay, so you can take, risk. So moderately risk averse था, ये moderately risk oriented है. Now you can take risk. Fine. Third is extremely risk oriented. I always put myself here. I am an extremely risk oriented. अभी मेरा आई वाज थिंकिंग कि मेरा 100% पैसा इक्विटी में लगा होना चाहिए, मैं डेट वेट में नहीं लगा. फिर जब मार्केट गिरती है तो लगता है यार ठीक है. ओके, सो एक्सट्रीमली रिस्क ओरिएंटेड. बट आई ऑलवेज पुट, अगर मुझे इसमें से बॉक्स चुनना होगा तो मैं यहाँ आऊंगा, और मैं अपने फादर लॉ को वहां देखता हूँ, और मैं अपने भाई को देखता हूँ इधर, जो मेरे से 1 साल 2 साल बड़ा है, जिसके बारे में मैंने बताया भी था. उसका फोन आता था, मुझे पैसा कहाँ लगाना है, आपको बताई थी मैंने स्टोरी, फिर सुनाऊंगा एक बार. तो वो यहाँ पर है कहीं. सो एवरीबडी इज इन डिफरेंट बॉक्सेस. फाइन. सो एवरीबडी हैज इट्स ओन वे ऑफ लुकिंग. ओके, जनरली क्या होता है, यंग जनरेशन जो आ रही है, व्हेन आई वाज टॉकिंग टू माय नीज, शी जस्ट गॉट रिसेंटली सेम ब्रदर्स, डॉटर. So when I asked them कि they also good equity investors. तो when I asked them कि पैसा लगाया, तो वो मेरे से डिस्कस भी करते हैं. मैंने कहा पैसा कहाँ लगाएगा था, 100% equity, कोई डेट वेट नहीं. So normally the young generation, I mean depending on persons where he stands, so young people should be more here and there. यहाँ दोनों भी जगह पे होना चाहिए. Early 40s तक तो यहाँ रहना ही चाहिए. Even today I am having at this place. वाई? बिकॉज आई थिंक कि अब इतना बन गया, अब कितना हो जाएगा, 10-20 लाख इधर उधर हो जाएगा, जा सकता अगर नीचे भी जाएगा तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला उससे. ओके, रिस्क प्रोफाइलिंग. सो रिस्क प्रोफाइलिंग करना बहुत जरूरी है. पहले अंडरस्टैंड करना है कि भाई उस बंदे का रिस्क क्या है, वो कौन से इसमें बैठता है. सो द पर्सन हु इज डूइंग रिस्क प्लानर, ही हैज टू फाइंड आउट अंडर विच बकेट यू फॉल. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज रिटन, व्हाट ही शुड डू. ओके, सो अगर आप बहुत रिस्की हैं, ले सकते हैं, तो अब ये जस्ट रीड इट.
So risk profiling, the more oriented a client is to risk, the exposure that can be suggested to risky assets. In general, equity is viewed as the risky asset, while debt is considered as the safer asset.
So basically, if you can take risk, then equity is risky. Okay, but if you want to play safe, then debt is safer. Okay.
Gold protects the portfolio in extremely adverse situations where both debt and equity are performed.
Now, if you look at the gold prices nowadays, आपको पता है गोल्ड कितने का हो गया? 62,000, 60,000 के आसपास. 64 भी हो गया, पता नहीं. अभी it's been rising, and because of the fact that there is a kind of a recession fear in US and Western Europe, and वहाँ हो भी रहा है जर्मनी में, because normally when why the gold does better is only when the situation is bad in the world. But India seems to be doing totally in in an isolated part of the world, where India is growing and the rest of the world is in doldrums, and there is a fear. Okay, so and again America में recession में जाएगा नहीं जाएगा, the people are not very clear about it. But since the the Federal Reserve has raised the interest so many times, so it is going to have an impact. The inflation has also gone up there. वहां पर रेट ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन काफी बढ़ गई है, 5-6-7% भी हो गई थी, जो कभी तो देखी नहीं अमेरिकन ने. यूरोप में भी चीजें बहुत महंगी हो गई है. माय डॉटर स्टेज देयर, तो शी इज सेइंग कि वहां बहुत महंगाई बढ़ रही है, हर चीज महंगी होती जा रही है. अब रुकी है और थोड़ा बहुत ड्रॉप हुई है, बट अमेरिका इज स्टिल अंडर क्लोज टू अबाउट 4.5% इन्फ्लेशन, विच दे हैव नेवर एक्सपीरियंस इन देयर लाइफ्स. सो और फिर इंटरेस्ट रेट्स भी बढ़े हैं वहां पर. सो इट हैज गोइंग टू हैव एन इम्पैक्ट देयर सम टाइम, इफ नॉट this year, next year, or maybe late next year. So if it is going to have an impact, it's going to bring down the economic activity there, particularly in America. Germany is officially in recession. England is in a very bad state. As European countries are not doing so well. So because of that, the gold is a asset which always goes up during the adverse time. So gold is going up. Fine. Okay.
So real estate is a liquid asset that can grow over time and also give rental income.
Now, real estate, otherwise क्या था, if you remember all the old guys in our generation, they always talked about real estate. कि हमारे पास यहाँ मकान है, हमारे पास वहाँ plot है, whenever I go to a park there when I was staying in Greater Kailash, so I used to go at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So a lot of oldies, I was still around 50s. So there were many people who were above 60s, 70s. So they were discussing about the real estate long back. उसके बाद तो real estate को discuss ही नहीं करता, real estate crashed. So nobody used to talk about real estate. Real estate मतलब इतनी नीचे गिर गई थी. But anyway, so people in those era 70s, 80s, 90s, maybe 2000, early 2000,